about the trip to Miami with your husband, it is fantastic. What do you want for a souvenir? The smug look on my sister's face. Who is on a trip with someone she's cheating with, comes to mind. But I said calmly, without getting angry. I'm busy with my niece's funeral right now. Also, my husband is right beside me. What? My words turned her pale, and what my sister, who literally flew back on a plane, saw was. My name is Wendy. I am a 29-year-old working housewife. Though I say housewife, I only started introducing myself as one recently. In fact, I just got married a few days ago. I ended up marrying Nicholas, a colleague from work. Working together, we developed a good relationship and finally tied the knot. However, being workaholics, we thought a wedding ceremony would be a waste of time and did not have one. Only registering our marriage. We do talk about wanting to take photos in a wedding dress someday. But now, during our busy season, it seemed it was not the right time for us. Why get married during such a busy period? It was all about timing. Despite being busy, the upcoming season will be even busier. Putting off marriage would be inefficient, we thought. Did you think this was a loveless marriage? No, that's not the case at all. We've decided never to mix work with personal life. At work, we are both extremely hardworking, but once we're home, we switch gears. At home, we're a sweet newlywed couple. Even though we didn't have a ceremony, we did visit each other's families to greet them. Both sets of parents accepted our decision not to have a ceremony as a modern. We sent out greeting cards to relatives. That's how smoothly and uneventfully our marriage progressed. Except for one problem. The problem was my sister, Maggie, who is 5 years older than me. She's already married and settled down but was once known as a town slut. Or at least, in my eyes, she was. Worse, she has a habit of taking what belongs to others. In general, the older ones are the ones that should share or give their things to their younger siblings. That's an outdated concept, and our parents never said such things. However, my sister would twist it around, saying, what belongs to the younger sister belongs to the older sister. So she took my boyfriend. My first boyfriend was in middle school. At an age where love is like an extension of playing house, my sister said. Oh, isn't he cute, and took him away. My boyfriend, who had just turned 14, was taken by my sister, who was 19. Unbelievable, but true in my sister's case. And once my ex-boyfriend became obsessed with her, she would dump him. In essence, my sister enjoyed the game of taking things from me. Heartbroken, I didn't have a boyfriend for a while. But in my senior year of high school, I found someone. It was during a busy period with exams, more of a comforting presence than anything special. However, my sister, who graduated from college, came home while we were studying together. Oh, isn't he cute? Repeating the line I'd heard before, she took my boyfriend again. Why could she take them so easily? My sister and I don't look alike. I have an ordinary face like our father. On the other hand, my sister inherited our beautiful grandmother's looks. Even more beautiful than our mother. I hate to admit it, but my sister is truly beautiful. And without any effort in dieting or exercising, she also has a great figure. For me, who can't lose weight despite my best efforts, it's extremely frustrating. And middle and high school students, after all, choose based on looks. When faced with an older, beautiful sister, it's no surprise they fell for her. After experiencing heartbreak twice because of my sister, I chose a university far away. I lived alone while working part-time and eventually found a job, never returning to my hometown. After all, who knows what my sister would do if I returned. Now, she's married and has one child. I'd like to think she wouldn't make a move on my current husband. But one can never be too cautious. People don't change that easily, I believe. When we visited my family to announce our marriage, my sister wasn't there. We sent a wedding announcement card, but received no response from her. I have a bad feeling about this, I muttered. My husband, Nicholas, knowing the situation with me and my sister, laughed and said, "Well, we're far apart and hardly see each other. It should be fine." He's laughing now, but would he be able to maintain that smile if he met my sister? After all, my past boyfriends thought the same, yet they were far from fine when approached by her. But Nicholas is a mature 30-year-old. I'd like to think he wouldn't be swayed just because a pretty woman showed interest. That's what I want to believe. It's not that I don't trust my husband, but my sister is the issue. She laughs as she steals her sister's boyfriends, and then discards them, mocking. I can't believe you dated such a loser. I trust my husband, but not my sister at all. Then, one day, I received a call from my sister. Reluctantly, I answered, thinking it wouldn't be mature to ignore it. Long time no see. I'm surprised you got married. That was her first remark after a long time. I regretted picking it up. But really, such a late marriage. I got married at 27. She's only 2 years earlier than me, but takes it as a point of pride. My 5-year-old daughter is rumored to be a genius at kindergarten. She's beautiful like me. Good thing she doesn't resemble her aunt. And then she insults me. Aunt means me, right? After bragging about her seemingly perfect life, she asked, "What's your husband like?" I dreaded this question. So, I responded with, "He's just an ordinary man." How much does he make? Maybe half of what your husband makes? What about his appearance? That's why I said he's ordinary. A plain guy who matches me. Sorry, Nicholas. In my eyes, you're the most handsome man in the world, but I can't let my sister know that. I apologize to my husband in my heart. All so ordinary. That's why I'm saying he's ordinary. What does he do? He works at the same company as me. Oh, what is this, an affair with a superior that led to a shotgun wedding? As if. We both were single and simply fell in love and got married. Fuming over her wild imagination, my sister just laughed off my response, saying, "Well, that's just like you. Hope you'll be happy. It'd be nice if your marriage lasts," and hung up. Her words irritated me all day. A few days later, something unbelievable happened. "Hey, Wendy, shall we have lunch outside today?" my colleague and friend Amy suggested. As we agreed and headed to the company lobby, I heard my name. "Ah. Wendy. There you are. I was just about to have you paged at the reception. Perfect timing." I turned around with a grimace and an odd voice. "Why?" Because my sister, who should be living hours away, was standing right there. "What are you doing here, Maggie?" "Why are you here?" "Just on a little trip and thought I'd drop by." She talks as if she's just out for some casual shopping. Is a little trip even a thing? Plus, this place isn't a tourist spot at all. While making a suspicious excuse, Maggie looks around and remarks, "Wow, quite the impressive company. I have a bad feeling about this. Please, Nicholas, don't show up now." Just as I thought that, I hear, "Wendy," and dread washes over me. Turning around, I see several colleagues standing there, including my husband. Heading out for lunch now? Yeah. Sort of. And who is this? Pleased to meet you. I'm Wendy's sister, Elle. Saying this, Maggie shakes hands without waiting for my stop. "Ah. Hello. Your sister is a great help to us." "Oh, what a handsome man." While shaking hands, Maggie shouted, Wendy. How is he just ordinary? What? He's even more handsome than my husband. Please take good care of my sister from now on. Maggie begins to sway her body in a manner that screams, "Target locked on. If you ever have any trouble with my sister, feel free to contact me." Saying this, Maggie passed a note with her contact information. Why did she even prepare such a thing?
Bye.
Now. Leaving us stunned, Maggie walked away. Wow, your sister is quite something. Said by one of the colleagues present, I could only respond with a wry smile. Then, suddenly, I got another call from Maggie. I thought about ignoring it, but after multiple calls, I reluctantly called back. I'm going to Miami soon and decided to leave my daughter at our parents' house. Take care if anything comes up. What? But it's quite far from our place to our parents. Parents are getting old and lack the strength, but it's okay, since a holiday is coming up. Whether it's okay or not should be decided by the receiving end, not the one making the request. As for the Miami trip, just the two of you? I need a break, but still. As I spoke, I heard a man's voice from behind Maggie. Who are you talking to? Oh, is your husband off today? It was a weekday, and I called back during my work break. Maggie is a housewife, but her husband works a regular job. Shouldn't he be at work? Hold on, I'm talking to my sister.
Ah.
Wendy. Hearing that voice, I exclaimed, "Hey." What? Maggie, who are you with? Don't tell me. Oh, just bumped into your husband here. We're in-laws, after all, no big deal. What are you talking about? Anyway, take care. Ignoring my voice, Maggie hung up the phone. Unbelievable. My shout echoed in the break room. Later, I learned that my niece had been sent from our parents' home. Maggie had told our parents she was going on a trip to Miami with a friend. It seems the trip was timed with her husband's long business trip. Which is why my niece was left at our parents' home. A cheating trip, seriously? My low murmur made my mom tilt her head in confusion. But I just shook my head as if it was nothing. As mad as I am at Maggie, my niece is innocent, so here I am at my parents' home. Taking care of my adorable niece on my day off. Aunt Wendy, look. Isn't it cute? It really is, you've drawn it so nicely. My niece, Christina, shows me her drawing of her favorite hamster with innocence. I praise her, and she smiles happily. Indeed, my niece is very cute and will surely grow up to be a beauty. I must protect her pure heart from becoming like Maggie. I clench my fist with determination. However, the situation quickly changes. Suddenly, I hear a scream from my niece, causing a commotion in the house. On the next day, which was also a day off and I was still at my parents' home. I was busy moving around when Maggie called. Despite being busy, thinking Maggie might be worried about her daughter. I answered, only to hear her carefree voice, making me want to hang up immediately. I'm busy now, what is it? Oh, I just wanted to tell you that Miami is too amazing.
Ah.
Is that so? I'm hanging up. Wait. Guess who's with me right now? A friend, right? Right. So, what's your husband doing now? Nicholas? What about him? He's not there, right? Must be away, huh? Well, yes. Irritated by Maggie's insinuating tone, I take a deep breath to patiently deal with her. What do you want? You're on the phone again? Suddenly, I hear another man's voice over the phone, and Maggie laughs in response. Hold on, Nicholas. Oh. Did you hear that voice? Thinking she did it on purpose, I respond, I didn't hear anything. It's just too troublesome to engage further. Oh, that's too bad. Well, you probably did hear but pretended not to, right? Sorry for being the only happy one here. Listen, I'm really busy. Can we talk later? Don't be like that, it'll be quick. So, about the trip to Miami with your husband, it is fantastic. She dares to say it outright. But my heart doesn't rage. I remain very calm about it. Thinking I'm silent because I'm disturbed, Maggie continues without waiting for my reply. So, I'm bringing back souvenirs. Someone coming with me will bring them over, so let's enjoy it together. She seems not to bother hiding it anymore. Oh, by the way, what do you want for a souvenir? Something sweet? Listen. Unable to tolerate it anymore, I say. We're in the middle of Christina's funeral right now. What? Her response came belatedly to my words. Didn't you hear? Your daughter, Christina, is having her funeral right now. What? What are you talking about? Stop joking. I would never joke about life and death. Besides, taking a moment, I looked up at the person standing beside me and said, I don't know what your intentions are, but my husband is right here. What? Over the phone, I could hear Maggie panicking. What do you mean by that? But I ignored her and hung up. My husband, Nicholas, chuckled wryly at my snorting dismissal. A few hours later. Christina. Someone burst into the house, screaming loudly. Needless to say, it was my sister. It seems she does have a maternal side after all. She must have taken the first flight back. My sister, looking frantic, burst into the living room where we were relaxing. What do you mean Christina's funeral? Just as she screamed and entered, her eyes widened in shock. Then, a small voice called out to her, Mommy? Christina. What do you mean? You said a funeral. Tears welled up in my niece's eyes again. Just when she had stopped crying, she must have remembered and started feeling sad again. Mommy, it's about Hammy. She pointed to the empty hamster cage and then handed my sister a small box. It contained the ashes of the hamster. Wait, what? Looking at me for an explanation, I said. Christina's beloved hamster passed away suddenly yesterday. It was old, so it was its time. You said Christina's funeral. That. I meant to say Christina's beloved hamster's funeral. Did that not come across? How could that possibly come across? My sister's scream echoed throughout the house. Ignoring that, I turned to the man who came with her. And who might this be? Pointing to the man, my sister, who had slumped to the floor in disbelief, half angrily said, What do you mean, who? That's your husband. Why am I being scolded? Like I said earlier, my husband is right here. Enough with your jokes. My sister, now glaring at me, finally turned her gaze to the man sitting next to me. Who is that? The very ordinary-looking man. Rude much. This is my husband, Nicholas. What? My sister's eyes widened in shock, and my husband, with a wry smile, bowed his head, saying, Hello, I'm Wendy's husband. Then, who's this Nicholas? A different person with the same name, Nicholas.
What?
Yes, the man standing next to my sister by coincidence, has the same name Nicholas. And both my husband and I know him well. But you said at work this man was your husband. I never said that. That Nicholas is a friend from high school who happened to join the same company. We became close because we shared the same name. Then, my friend Nicholas introduced me to my now husband Nicholas. And we started dating and got married. I don't understand. What's even happening? The one who doesn't get it is me. You show up at the office out of nowhere. Then ignore my husband Nicholas to give your number to my friend Nicholas. And Nicholas, being the ladies' man he's always been, goes. Your sister has been a great help. Really, everyone was just stunned that day. My sister was left speechless by my words. Yes, on that day when my sister made an unexpected visit to the office, I happened to run into several male colleagues, including my friend Nicholas and my husband Nicholas, as I was about to go out for lunch. It seems my sister only has eyes for handsome men. She was fixated on my friend Nicholas, completely overlooking my ordinary husband who blends into the crowd. But he was calling you an outright. Well, yeah. We've been friends since high school. I call him a Nick too. Nick? It's confusing with my husband Nicholas around. I prefer to call my husband by his full name. I smiled sweetly, and then my sister glared at my friend Nick. And why didn't you correct her? I asked you, why did you marry such an ordinary sister? Well, I didn't deny it, but I didn't affirm it either. I just said, Maggie is more attractive than Wendy, that's all. My friend Nicholas suggested ending their friendship. My sister's face went from red to pale, busy with her emotions. Nick, that was wrong of you, getting involved with a married woman. My husband spoke with a hint of anger. But Nick just shrugged helplessly. Well, she said she was divorced and asked to officially date me. I thought it was just for fun. What did you say? My sister turned bright red at Nick's words. You were just playing with me. Then a man's voice spoke up. So, you were serious with him? Of course, I was. I even divorced. Wait, what? The voice came not from my husband or friend but from behind, turning slowly towards the door leading into the living room. My sister's eyes widened in shock. You? Why are you here? Weren't you on a business trip? The client had a change of plans, so it ended early. Came home to find nobody there, which surprised me. Was going to call you but got a call from Wendy saying you were here. What's this about a divorce? That was just a joke. My sister stood there, dumbfounded, still slumped on the floor as my friend Nicholas spoke up. What do you mean? You're not divorced? So you were just playing with me too? You're in no position to blame me, that's ridiculous. What did you say? I have no use for a woman who lies about something as serious as divorce. My friend Nick deeply apologized to Maggie's husband. I'm very sorry for what happened, not knowing isn't an excuse. I understand money can't fix this, but I'll pay a settlement as compensation. He handed his business card as a contact and left. Wait, Nicholas. I was serious about you. As she tried to follow him, her husband's cold voice stopped her. She turned to see him looking at her with equally cold eyes. Wait, that was just a little joke. I'm tired of your lies. What? All those lies about watching the kid while I was on business trips and going out with a friend were just that, lies. And the lie about us being divorced. Well, that was because. But it's sad that you turned into a liar. What? Maggie looked at her husband, confused, as he nodded as if agreeing with something to himself. So, let's get a divorce. That way, what you said won't be a lie anymore. What? Well, we got divorced, we'll change to a we are getting divorced. Which is a slight difference, but within acceptable margins. Wait, just wait. I won't wait. I'll be claiming custody of Christina and raising her myself. I'll also expect child support from you. Wait, please. No waiting. We'll communicate through lawyers from now on. Christina, we're going home. Saying that, he reached out his hand to Christina, who looked confused. Are we going home? Yes. He nodded. Wait. Are you trying to take my daughter away from her mother? Maggie screamed, thinking she could leverage her child somehow. Her husband paused for a moment, then looked at Christina. Christina, will you be sad without mommy? Christina immediately responded, no, I won't be sad. What? Christina, you're okay, without mommy. Christina looked at flustered Maggie. Because mommy, when daddy isn't home, you're always out. You tell me to watch TV and leave, and you come back late at night. Dinner is always microwaved frozen food. And you make me take a bath alone even though I'm scared. Maggie, what the? Everything was news to him. He glared at Maggie with fury. What? It's your fault for dumping childcare on me. You said you'd be a proud stay-at-home mom and take care of our child. And on weekends, I mostly took care of her, thinking you were tired. Have you been deceiving me all along? Well, that's enough. I'll hear all about your affair from your boyfriend in detail. We'll discuss our future through lawyers. Wait, please. No. Christina, let's go. Okay.
Bye. Bye.
Mommy. As Maggie reached out, Christina simply waved.
Goodbye.
With no hesitation. And Maggie's hand dropped. The door closed mercilessly in front of a defeated Maggie. After discussions, Maggie and her husband divorced. It turned out Maggie had affairs beyond just with friend Nick, leading to a divorce fully blamed on her. My visit to the company and the so-called vacation were indeed for an affair. Friend Nick paid a settlement to Maggie's husband and left the company, saying it was a man's way of taking responsibility. Though it seemed excessive, he mentioned it was about maintaining his honor. Hopefully, this situation might lead my handsome friend, who used to play around a lot, to seek sincere love. As for Maggie, she was told by our parents not to return home until she could pay off her debts. Unable to pay the settlement and child support as a former stay-at-home mom, our parents had to cover for her. My parents probably don't expect the money to come back, but they might be thinking it's the only way to see their granddaughter, Christina, again. After the divorce and having nowhere to live, and unable to return to her parents' home, my sister Maggie contacted me. I knew something was off. There's no way you could marry such a handsome guy. All right, I'll take that as an insult. Don't ever contact me again. After saying that, I hung up the phone. She frantically called back several times, half out of her mind, apologizing. I'm sorry. It was my fault. I won't take your men anymore. I just hung up without saying a word and blocked her number. I don't know what became of my sister after being abandoned by both our parents and me. Someone from the neighborhood who knows my sister said. I thought I saw Maggie, but she looked so haggard, nothing like the beauty she used to be. But I couldn't care less. Whether that was really my sister, I'm not sure, but I probably will never see her again. I'm exhausted. You've had a tough time. As I stretched and cracked my shoulders, Nicholas, with a wry smile, handed me a warm cup of milk. Thank you. Then, I looked at him intently. What's with that look? You're making me blush. No, I was just thinking, what a good man you are. Huh? You're probably the only one who would say that. Well, I think that's just fine. Being the only one who understands your charm is enough for me. With that said and a laugh shared between us, he hugged me.